Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. My computer's being really slow tonight. So can y'all, let's see here. Are we going to do just this task one peer reviews? Is that the deal?
Sounds like it. And then from what they were saying tonight, I think we have to do another video separately for tasks. We're breaking them up.
Okay.
Is that what you understood?
Yeah, that's what I understood too. If we're going to do one and then the other, you have to submit two, and you submit them both into the same Dropbox. Or
Okay.
and that we all have to submit them.
We all what now?
We'll all have to submit them. Each of us will have to submit the same one so that we can get graded for it.
Okay. So I just send that link from YouTube, correct?
Yes.
All right. All right.
Are we doing this today? Are we doing our reviews today?
Say what?
Are we doing are we going to do our reviews today?
Yeah, we're reviewing task one, correct?
My volume on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's just do we can do one. He said you can do them separately. You just have to make sure that you it's whatever, it doesn't matter. You can do them together at one time, at one Zoom conference, or you can do them separately. You just have to make sure you submit them in the proper place.
Okay, I haven't even done my task two yet.
Separately it is then.
Yeah.
We're doing one then.
So we have till Sunday to do them, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, everything is 1 week. If you look at the calendar, that's what he said. Everything is one. Just add 1 week. Hold on, let me get mine.
All right. Well, we got everybody on. I don't have the screen up right now. Let's see. What's up, Julie? What's up, Carrie? What's up, Matt? Yeah, I was not at class. I'm going to watch it later. I have scouts on Tuesday nights. Every other Tuesday. So I just came home, got some tacos. Now I'm ready to roll.
Taco Tuesday.
So who do y'all want to do first? Figure we can just instead of me reading the reviews that I did for everybody, if let's say we picked Kelly first, whoever reviewed Kelly could just kind of give their feedback on Kelly, and then we can move on to the next person.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right, Kelly, let's start with you.
All right.
Who else reviewed Kelly? I did.
I did.
I don't think I was supposed to. I screwed up and did two people one person I wasn't supposed to do, so I did Matt's today.
That's fine. I got it. No worries.
Jay, I thought maybe you just reviewed everybody's because I was seeing your name on everybody's.
No,
Master.
you're right.
I was getting mixed up. I thought for a second maybe I screwed up too, because I know we were exchanging a lot of changes. I'm like, oh boy, I hope I didn't do it too.
I think I got it. I think I understand now. So you just gotta, like it has your name. The first column is you, and that's in the column to the two columns to the right of that is who's reviewing you. Right. So you kind of got to look at the two columns to the right of the first column on that one to figure out who you're reviewing. And I screwed up, and I'm the one that made it. So my bad. So who else had Kelly? Was that?
I did.
Okay.
You want me to go first, Jay, or you want to go first?
I mean, you can go right ahead, and we can kind of go down the peer review and talk about different things we might have seen or.
That's fine.
I'm included.
Hold on, let me just minimize it a little bit here. All right. So, Kelly, I thought everything was pretty good. I like the way you used that figure one. It kind of, obviously, I felt it closely aligned with the content that you were trying to get across as far as what your school profile is, what you feel are some of the school needs. So content was good. Rubric strength, again, it was pretty strong. Pretty much stayed aligned with what was expected to be discussed. You covered everything that was aligned in the rubric. You didn't stray away from anything and do anything that wasn't supposed to be done. So as far as strength, I thought it was pretty good. Jay, we'll let you kind of add in from that point, and we'll keep going.
Yeah, no, I thought everything was great in terms of the rubric strength, and the content was good as well. Thought did a good job with your school profile and all that stuff as well. So that was good.
As far as weaknesses, I think some of it you kind of outlined as far as you hadn't gotten to it yet.
Right.
Such as your reference section at the time I saw it wasn't there, so you didn't have any in-text citations. You didn't have the 3 different references that you needed. I should have. Okay, it was mentioned. Would it be added? But you did mention, and I left in the review that you would be adding it later, which is no big deal. I would separate. I thought maybe separating the PLC research and the selection and the committee sections, and just because they've made such a put in a big emphasis on making sure that everything is kind of broken down, and even my own paper saw some weaknesses that were brought.
All right.
Elaborating on what specific norms you discussed, a lot of the ideas within norms, maybe breaking those up and getting a little bit more elaborate. As far as leadership, everything was there. You displayed your meeting minutes, how you were going to track each person's roles. So I mean, overall, I thought everything was pretty good. Jay?
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I can't find my paper right now. I'm looking at your review from task 2. So I'm just going off of memory, but just from what I recall, I didn't really have anything really negative to say about your paper. Do you remember anything negative I had to say?
I don't think so. But from what you mentioned about separating it a little bit, I did see your comment, and I did that. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's honestly. I think so far everything I've read is from anybody. It's all been pretty closely aligned to what they're expecting. So I thought your paper was pretty good. Mechanics and grammar were good. Your organization was all there. It was all good. You had APA format. It's clearly evident you know how to write papers. You know how to structure them properly. So I don't really have anything else to add other than keep going forward with it. If you haven't.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Who wants to be next? Any volunteers?
Well, just work down that. Who's next on that list? Do we have a list you made up?
Let's see here. The next person. Well, it starts with you, Matt. Kelly was actually the last one on there.
Oh well. Okay. I don't mind.
With you.
Whoever has me can fire away.
All right. So I did Matt as well. Who else did Matt?
I did.
All right. So me and Julie. I said, I don't know what is going on with my stuff. Go ahead, Julie.
Yeah, hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Heck.
Okay. So I thought that the content was aligned perfectly. And I did add a comment on that about adding the focus of the PLC in prompt number 1 into that first paragraph, just so that right from the beginning we know exactly what you're addressing. But I thought it was, other than that one little note, which would be an easy fix, I thought it was great. Rubric strength, really great research and connection to the school, to what your research findings are. I thought that is something that was easy to see. Since you're talking about school performance and student performance and growth scores, I thought maybe in the school profile section, you added a lot of things about kind of the landscape of what your school looks like, but not really about student performance and growth scores, and maybe some historical on that would help focus what how you created this PLC in order to bridge that gap, because it doesn't seem like the gap was really clear in that portion. I liked how you took a leadership role in researching the proper and necessary PLC that would be for your research. The mechanics, I think, just stay in third person, not in first. He really talked about that and harped on that a lot, that you can't. And I noticed in a lot of other people's, they're using the candidate to break that up. Yeah.
I went back and changed pretty much all of it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Let's see. I guess that's it. I mean, I did make a note about adding the appendices and the written correspondence in the end, but I thought it was really good. And really the only main thing was just like bridging that gap in the school profile. So it wasn't just about like the fun stuff about the school, but it really showed across the board what it was, what you were going to look at.
So I found my review. Yay. So I thought you did an excellent job of providing a selection of evidence for your PLC. Just want to make sure, Miss Baker seems to kind of be taking the lead. Don't let her lead it. I want you to lead it.
Funny, you saw that. Yeah. Her situation is very unique. She actually was brought into the school because prior to this year, the school has been notoriously known for not taking data stuff very serious.
Right.
So I find it coincidental that I'm here doing this and I'm engaged. People see me walking around and like, who the heck is? And it's my first year there.
Right.
So they're like, who's this new guy? Why is he moving so fast?
Yeah.
And that might be something that you could pull into that school profile a little bit if you want to talk about how maybe the school hasn't really been engaged in that data. And so one of the things that the school has done was bring in someone, and then now you're trying to help bridge that.
Yeah. I did it in 2, and I should have done it task 2. I did a lot of it, and I needed to add more than 1.
I don't know if you so during some of the text in there, it seems to be more, there's like seems to be a lot of opinions in what I saw written. Just try to stay away from opinion stuff and make it all data driven. I know I want to express my opinions in a lot of things when I was writing mine, but I did see some opinion based stuff rather than fact based stuff. And I have a question for you guys. In APA 4, it's been a long time since I've done an APA paper. Matt, I noticed yours, there's it's like no paragraphs. It's just everything is straight down. Is that supposed to be like that, or is it supposed to be broken up into paragraphs? Y'all know there's it's like not broken. Matt's the evidence one is not, or task one is all one big paragraph underneath each prompt and heading. Y'all know if it's supposed to be, because I think I tabbed mine and did like a tab indent on each paragraph.
You can definitely tab on APA
Okay.
formatting. Even under subheadings, you can use that. So if you go to Purdue OWL and look under APA, and you can just Google Purdue OWL APA.
Yeah.
First thing you're going to look at is the sample paper, and you can just take a cursory look at that without even really reading anything.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. I thought I was just making sure because I saw Matt's like that. I want to make sure you don't have to, make sure I wasn't doing it wrong. And like a couple of papers I saw, like all the description, instructions, and prompts. If you want to just keep it smaller, he said we don't have to double space those, so you can single space all the stuff that was already there and then double space everything that you typed for yourself. I saw a couple of people's like that I made that comment on. The organization follows expectations for task one, and I thought it was good, and I think you guys are headed in the right direction. All right, we're moving along. Sally forth to me. I'm next.
I think that was me and Carrie who did that. Is that right, Carrie?
Yeah, that's right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
You up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Overall, it was structured appropriately. You followed obviously the rubric and laid things out. The one kind of thing I think that I said was maybe kind of putting that school profile more into like a narrative form and elaborating a little bit more. You have lots of data there, but kind of just adding a little narrative in that. And then maybe elaborating a little bit more just on kind of data you guys reviewed, and then to include those minutes. But overall, it was definitely very good. I think originally you had first person, but then I think you must have changed it to then say the candidate instead of I.
Yeah, I did do that. I changed all the candidate.
Yeah.
That was a lot of changing.
Yeah. But overall, it looked good.
All right, thanks.
Hang on, I'm pulling yours up.
I'm sorry.
I really liked that you grounded a lot of what you did in research. I thought you could really tell that you had done your research on the PLC in both the task narrative and the PLC function, especially in that PLC research portion. I think you did a great job on that, more so than I think some other people that I had read. Not everybody, but I thought that was really good, and I could tell you were really trying to dig for learning there, especially in the way that you responded to that. In the opening paragraph of the PLC research, I think again state the areas of weakness in your second sentence, and so that the connection between your focus and your goal are clearly defined up front. So,
Sorry.
some of my writing classes I teach, my students will, they'll talk in generalities because they don't really know the specifics of it, but I think you're going to know some of the specifics of what some of the weaknesses are, so you can utilize that in that, especially in that first bit. I thought your leadership was demonstrated. I could definitely tell your personality in the way that you defined what your PLC was going to be called and sort of how you guys interacted. Again, with the candidate instead of first person or self-reference would be good. And also what Carrie said, I think getting the using a narrative in the school profile is really what they're looking for, and then you can embed some of the tables and charts as needed.
Okay. Sounds
I mean,
good.
I like the tables and charts because I know that that's where you got that from, and it's meant to be a really easy way to look at that and be able to see it very clearly and quickly. But I think that they're wanting for you to write it in the narrative.
Yeah, yeah. So I got a question for you guys. Like with mine, with my data, our school is really good, and this is the first time I've been at a good school in terms of scores. I've always when I've taught for the 15 years I taught, it was always in Title I schools that struggled, and we made it, but we struggled. So it's actually kind of harder to find the weaknesses. So like what I'm doing is the weakness right now is going to be in trying to increase this. It's just third grade or now fourth grade cohort. They've always been scoring lower than everybody else in the school, basically, and everything. But to get more specific, I wanted to get into math. But I am still having a hard time. That's why I haven't written it yet, because I haven't gotten all the data that I need to make it look good for task 2, to be honest with you, because I don't work at the school, so I'm having to rely on other people to send me stuff in, and it's taking a little bit of time. But I just wondered if y'all have any suggestions on so what I'm doing is basically trying to increase math test scores, and they are using some software to do that, exit tickets, that kind of thing. But what I really want to do is I want to get it even more nailed down, if you know what I'm saying. And just say, I want to increase test scores. Well, everybody wants to do that,
Is there like a subgroup that's not performing as well? Have they broken it down that far? Like even by males or females or by a specific ethnicity? Are you looking?
Well, they did, and actually ethnicity would have been a great one. And I was told not to do it on ethnicity because they could tell we were pulling people out because of that.
I wonder what like RTI they're using in third grade or fourth grade, and looking at that's response to intervention and
Right.
and what type of breakouts that they're doing or pullouts. Are they grouping? Like my daughters are in fourth grade, so I just went through this with like their second and third grade, and they looped up. They looked at, and I know a lot of schools do this. They'll group them by success rate, and so some students will be able to accelerate a lot faster, but then some of the groups that might be lower performing get extra support. And
yes, they are. They're pulling out small groups from, because they have like an hour and 50-minute math block every day, and so they have time during that day to pull kids out that need it based on basically just like exit tickets from the day before and stuff like that. They haven't had an official benchmark test yet.
And maybe this is the week to maybe have some conversation with them too about like what kind of technology support that they're using. Especially you're going to have to put that into the next task.
Right.
And they talked a lot about that tonight on the Zoom call. So maybe you could look and see what kind of technology support that they're using and see if there's something else out there that might be a supportive role.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. We'll move on to Julie.
I think that was me and Carrie.
Yeah.
Should I go first?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll go ahead. I thought that Julie did an absolutely wonderful job of describing the background. I liked that you broke down your PLC members. I thought you did an excellent job of that, just kind of each person breaking it down, why I chose them. That was very descriptive. It was really hard for me to find weaknesses, honestly, for this. I thought you followed the rubric well. The only thing that I did see was maybe in the beginning, some of that we and our, when you're talking about your school, and you may have went back and changed that already, but just saying the site or saying the school name. I thought you, go ahead.
I've gone back and worked on that part. That So I've been on the school improvement planning team for like, I don't know. So we wrote that school background maybe 3 years ago. And so this is the one, I just really took it off of our website because I helped write it. So it is, and I think Jay or someone else had made a comment that it was really lengthy. It is what it is because it's what my school demands that it is, or my school system demands that it is. And we have a really persnickety person who is kind of over that in the district. So I have fixed the third person part of it and tried to make it a little bit more specific. I'm not really, I don't know, tell me. I don't really want to shorten it or maneuver it in any kind of way because it's the one that's published.
I liked it. I appreciated that it was so detailed because when you're reading it as a person from the outside, you don't really know what your school background is like until you read that. Mine's like that as well. So if I were you, I would just keep it in there. But I don't really have anything else other than I just, I appreciated how detailed it was and you followed the rubric. And it was very well written. Good job.
Thanks. I know I need to do some more research on and include that. And some of my citations are not exactly correct, but yet, but they are now. They weren't in what I submitted.
Yeah, I agree with Kelly. So the school profile, I don't think you should shorten it. I think it provides a great background for kind of just showing the history and even patterns of data that you guys have at your school and how that kind of helped narrow down your PLC focus area. So I think it's totally appropriate. I mean, it was very evident that you're already a leader in your school and what you're doing with that. And I don't know if you went back and changed this or not. I thought you had really good detail and description about the PLC members, but then I thought maybe like a short summary of why you chose them specifically to be a part of that PLC. You had a great, I mean, it's common sense and you can piece it together, but maybe just adding a quick summary of this is why I chose these people and why we're making up the PLC essentially. But other than that, you did a great job.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Next up, Carrie.
Yep.
All right, I reviewed Carrie.
That was me again and Matt.
Oh, y'all both did? Oh,
Yeah.
so this is one I did, but I wasn't supposed to. All right.
Thanks for
I
doing
had something that just popped up on the screen that says remaining meeting time, 9 minutes and 40.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
We'll knock it out.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and go. Carrie, everything looked pretty good. Structured well again. School outline provided a pretty good overview of student body. The demographic outline was good. References support your motive for task one. You were very, as far as strengths, you were very specific with what you were trying to do in your meetings. You really, I like your use of the different pieces that you added to show the collaborative approach that you were using throughout your meeting. Let's see, it was mentioned that the team discussed ways to. Oh, okay. So one thing, I guess, if there was something I would think, maybe you work on would be that you mentioned that the teams discussed ways to improve AP scores, but you didn't really, each team member, I guess, was going to be tasked with doing a little research. So maybe be a little bit more in depth as to what specifically they are going to be researching, or what are they tasked with specifically. Thought it did mention we brought up in the next meeting, having a specific goal of scores since it was brought up. I'm reading my own notes so I can explain. Yeah, see, that's basically what I said. Basically just kind of elaborate the specific goals that are being discussed and what each person is when they're leaving, kind of, if you will, what their homework is, what specifically are their roles, and what are they bringing back to the table. Leadership, everything was included. You had your emails, you had you had all of your resources structured well. Grammar was good, organization was good, and you had APA formatting and included your appendixes. So everything was good as far as I'm concerned.
And I had sort of the same feedback on towards the end where you kind of said that you guys didn't set specific goals yet. And I was just thinking that you could elaborate more on what tasks you give those members before you guys meet for the next time. I thought you followed the rubric well, detailed background. I appreciated that you gave a presentation on the effective PLC when you met with your PLC. I thought that was a great idea. So pretty much agreeing with what Matt said, just kind of maybe expanding a little bit more on some of the ideas that you guys brainstormed on.
Okay.
And I thought it was really cool how you found an area of weakness in a school that hasn't been around that long. So excellent.
Yeah, that's a tough task. You mentioned that, so that's going to be tough for you.
It was interesting, but that's something that we noticed was a deficit this summer, honestly. So that was definitely a focus area for us.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll send out an email and schedule. What are y'all thinking for the next one? I mean, I'm hoping to have this thing written tomorrow night, maybe, for me. Thursday morning, somewhere in there.
Doesn't matter. I'm flexible. I think Jay and I, we discussed it. I'm flexible in evenings, so whatever works for everybody else is okay with me.
Me too. I'm good after about 6.
Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah, you had mentioned that you were.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm at a board meeting in Greensboro, and I've got like Thursday night. I will be busy with that probably until about 9 o'clock, and then Friday I'm driving back home about 4 hours.
You want to do the following Monday?
Let me look.
So not this coming week, but the Monday of the following week.
When is the final task to do?
It's due.
I guess a week from Sunday now.
Okay.
Originally it was
Yeah.
Sunday.
But as far as our recorded review of each other, I think if you turn that in that Monday, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that was to work for everybody.
Yeah, so the only night next week that I have free is either Sunday night or Monday night. And then I'm out of town again and sort of out of pocket until the following weekend.
Would you guys want to do a Sunday evening?
I can.
I'm good.
As long as it's 8 o'clock or later. I'm doing a coach training till 7 up about 45 minutes north of here. So I should be able to get back by 8.
Yeah, I can do Sunday or Monday if anyone has a preference.
Sunday or Monday is fine with me too.
I prefer Sunday night unless somebody has a real problem with that.
Sunday, 8 o'clock. Good?
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sunday, 8 o'clock.
I was
And
so
you can
worried
do
you
it,
were going to
man.
be like, it's got to be Tuesday. I'm like,
No.
I think we got a great team.
oh my gosh, it's the best.
One of my biggest fears was going to be this. I said, man,
Yeah.
it's going to work.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
yeah, that's fine with me.
Awesome. Well, I'll set up the next one for Sunday at 8. And it takes a while for y'all know how it works. So I will send y'all the link to this as soon as it links.
And let me make sure, because he got real pissed and I want to make sure I'm doing this right. We send a link as the attachment, correct? The YouTube link? The actual.
I believe so. I'm going to go back and look at it tonight, and I'll type up my notes from class and then attach it to the thread.
He's concerned about that one.
Yeah, I was concerned about where to post it. I heard the whole,
I don't want to be that one that he
I
brings
want
in.
to post it in the right place.
I know.
Yeah. Well, hey, will you send it as an email, Julie?
Yeah, I'm going to send it as an email. And then, Jay,
Okay.
I'm also going to include my school email because I'm blocked from using any email that's not my school email.
Okay.
at my school. So I'm
Okay.
going to attach my school email, my work email to this email. And if y'all will just start using that as well, it'll come to both
Start
places.
replying all. Yeah, we'll just reply all to that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. That would be super helpful because sometimes I can't even check this until like 9 o'clock at night. And then I feel like I lost everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. Have a great rest of the week and see everybody Sunday.
Thank you,
All right.
guys.
Everybody have a good night.
Night.